Hello Australia, welcome to another episode of The Couch, episode 690. On the show today, the Bitchin' team is back with all the stories that are making news. Talking streaming with Paul Elwin, he talks about the top 5 streaming programs that are streaming on the streaming devices. A lot of streaming there. Carmen Braywood is back from her radio break and she's teaching people how to work in TV, how to be broadcasters, how to be presenters. We'll find out about her new business and we'll tell you about that as well. Questionable is back with Simone Springer. She's asking the question today to the comedians, do we need the Raw family? And finally, Mel Genovese is a guy who owns Bites Pizza. We're going to introduce you to his products and introduce him to the Couch audience as well. Music-wise, Kaylee Longden performs for us and much more. Hope you can stick around. It is a big couch. 690 starts now.
It's showtime on the couch. It's showtime on the couch. You can see it from your house. You can see it from your house. It's showtime on the couch with Fred and the best in town. You can see it from your house. Yeah, it's showtime on the couch. Oh, oh, oh.
Hello Australians, one and all. I hope you're doing well around Australia. I hope you're looking after yourself. Stick around for the next hour. Have a bit of a laugh at me if you want. We've got a fantastic young talent. Her name is Kaylee Longden, centre stage, singing a Lady Gaga song. Please make her welcome as she sings La Vie en Rosa. Here she is.
Sous sa bouche, voilà le portrait sur les touches de l'homme auquel je pense rien. Quand il m'a pris dans ses bras, il m'a parlé tout bas. Je vois la vie en rose. Il est entré dans mon cœur né par des bonheurs dont je connais la cause. C'est lui pour moi, moi pour lui dans la vie. Il m'a dit la journée pour la vie. Et dès que je l'aperçois, alors je suis amoureux au monde quand il bat. C'est lui pour moi, moi pour lui dans la vie. Il m'a dit la journée pour la vie. La vie.
That is, of course, Kaylee Longden performing centre stage. She'll be back later on to close the show as well, or thereabouts. Now, let me tell you, we would love you to perform on the show. If you think you've got a talent or a skill, check out our website, thecouch.com.au. Write to us and we'll get you on the show very, very soon as well. Bands are included in that too, magicians, any sort of entertainment act, in fact. Anything that's better than our bitchin' lot as well. Can I just say, talking about bitchin', let me introduce the team. Welcome.
About to start singing in French.
I was going to audition.
Oh dear.
I was going to audition.
Chris Ilsley, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very
Broadcaster,
much for having me,
presenter.
but I was still going to audition.
Well, you could still do that. Tap dancing would be good. Just don't
Mate,
fall
if
in
I
the step.
tap
I was going
dance,
to juggle.
I was going to say tap dancing for me would be fun. It'd be a seismic event.
There you go.
I was going to break wind in the key of C.
Oh, good. Do it anyway.
No one light a match.
Jen Merrick,
No one
thank
light
you.
a match.
Have a go news. And Ted Bull from anywhere he wants to be, legend of radio and TV. Welcome. Ted, we need to get straight into it, I've been told.
Okay.
So let's get into your story.
I'm sticking up for Joe.
Yep.
You know, everybody's
We're talking about
knocking
Joe Biden.
Maybe we could audition
Does
for that.
anyone Joe?
Stick it
I
up
mean,
for
Joe.
Joe.
Joe, look, these stairs that I reckon would be right at home in a septuagenarian's version of Holy Moly.
Yes.
And he's going up these stairs and he falls over. What does he do? Picks himself up, which you do.
Slips
He
over.
falls over.
He trips
Well, he
over.
trips over. He gets his silly bloody
I'm
feet
just
in the
glad
way
he
of his
didn't
other
hurt
bloody
himself.
feet.
That would have been terrible.
Couldn't they come up with a better, less tripping set of presidential
Can't
stairs?
they?
I read
Honestly.
some statistics the other day,
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter. Every single one of us will fall up or
Yeah.
downstairs
Oh,
at
look, I've
some
done it.
stage.
I've done it.
It's just a matter of statistics.
All right, I love
and it
numbers.
doesn't matter about your age.
What are the odds of that happening to a 43-year-old person?
The same.
Same. It's all the same.
Do you reckon
It is
because
all
he's
the
older?
same. It's-
Well,
How old would he be now?
Well, he's 78. He's 2 years older
Do you
than
think he
me.
cops a lot of flack
And
because of
because
his age?
I'm within that generation, in that,
you don't have feels.
demographic, I know. See, for a
Yeah.
start, you know, your joints aren't as loose as they. I mean, you know what I mean.
Well, actually, your joints are probably a damn
Well,
sight looser.
he's very fit too. He's
Yeah.
a very fit
Well,
man.
Well, yes, and in fact, he works out on this exercise bike that security was concerned because it's tied up with an internet that
Really?
spies could spy on what was happening when he was on his exercise
Wow.
bike.
Why would you have an exercise bike connected to the internet? I'm
So it
sorry.
can measure all your.
Yeah,
all
yeah,
your
You can do that
All your
locally. You don't
vitals.
have to connect it to the
hold
internet.
the
No,
hold the
it's
phone
no
a
different
second.
to like a.
Who do you think I'm competing with when I get on my exercise bike? The bloody President of the United
Joe Biden.
States. Yes,
Correct.
Joe and I are mates.
You're in the race.
Yeah, we're in the race together.
Well, I think people have never been more ageist as they
I agree.
are
Yeah, yeah.
today, and I find older people as ageist about other older people.
Oh, I can't. Well, look at the Queen. She's 94.
Yeah,
exactly.
Can't, you know, she's too old.
So Ted-
And it's ridiculous. This man has so much
Yeah.
experience.
Exactly.
He's a wealth of
Do you
experience.
think we
are
dwell
not.
too much on age, but do you think we make a big thing out of nothing? In Australia, I don't think we do. Americans seem to have a hang-up with him being older than the other people.
Well, I think we have a hang up, but I
No,
don't
we
think
have a
we've ever
hang-up.
been in
Oh,
the
yeah.
position
I mean,
where
you-
somebody of that age would ever say, for example, stand for public office.
And I know you're going to talk about the new Parliament here in Western Australia, but you know, people keep on saying we need young people. We need young
How's-
people.
how's
We
this
do,
one,
but
Ted?
you know, just going for young
Question
people.
for you.
Well, you're going for young. You need a broad range.
You've got to
of
have a
people.
balance, don't
Question
you?
for you,
Absolutely.
Ted. Being a TV and radio presenter, you did it
For
for many
years and
50
years,
years.
go on.
What is it about Australia? I watch things like Jeopardy and shows like that in America.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
in their 70s and 80s and still
Yeah.
presenting TV shows. Here, when we get to about 60, it's almost like you have to retire.
Yeah.
Do you feel that that's the way it is
Oh
here?
yes, very much so. And I experienced ageism in one particular role I had once, and I was only 50.
Yeah. Well, look at people like
Wow.
Daryl Summers. Daryl Summers, 69.
Coming back.
Back on Dancing with
Yeah.
the Stars. 69, and it's been 14 years since he last hosted that
Really?
show. And it's amazing to
But
see a
he'll be so
69-year-old.
good.
Yeah, but maybe
will
there's
be
also
so
a
good.
realisation.
Liz Hayes is 65.
Yeah, and
Yep.
Susanna. How
Yeah.
old is Susanna? She's as
Oh,
old
she's
as the Queen.
68, I
thought
think.
she's as old as the Queen.
Well,
He
here-
might be killed.
Can I ask
the other question that might come out of that, of course, is this a reflection on the fact when they look at people like Daryl Summers where they say that actually outside of some reality performer, there is nobody who is a truly polished
Yep.
performer who can go on TV and do the job?
I think we're moving into the what do people remember? It's all about sentimental TV.
Yep.
Daryl is only there because he attracts that audience our age,
Yeah.
and they want him there because he did a great job. Whereas if you there's a lot of young people like Rove McManus waiting to come out
Fred,
of the.
how long have you been doing this show?
Well, I've been doing this for 20 years.
20 years.
And you can put a 20-year-old in the show, but they'll never ever do as well as the person that was there.
Because they don't have the life skills, they don't have the knowledge.
Exactly.
And look at the people, look at the age range of people who are watching television these days.
Correct,
Yeah.
Jen. And
Yeah.
watching it long term, watching the full show as well.
Yeah.
It's only bits and bites that people look at anyway. But good on him. Look, Daryl Summers, congratulations. Glad to see you back. Love to see Bert do something before he disappears.
wouldn't we all? Wouldn't we all?
Even just a once a week interview show.
Yeah.
Put a wig on him. Give him some bit of some sort of motivation tablets.
Talk
or
about,
whatever.
I look like I'm wearing one
Some
today.
Viagra or whatever you
He
need to
needs
prop
to
him
take
up.
Elton John's
But
advice.
I think he do well. Jen, what's your story?
Well, let me just say one last thing. Don't be ageist, people. It's
Yep.
awful. It's
Correct.
awful. It is an honour
And
to
let
be.
Jen work at McDonald's. It's not fair that you knock her back.
I'm
Nah,
only
ageist is not a good
25
thing.
plus
Yeah, right.
19. Right. Okay. Now I want to talk about. We've had the huge election a few weeks
The
ago in
unlosable
WA.
election.
It was democracy spoke, and I'm interested that what is going to happen in the next 12 months?
Nothing.
Are we going to have a whole lot of people who voted for Mark McGowan
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden in 12 months' time go, I wish I hadn't done that? Because we have no opposition.
I don't think it's going to happen, Jen.
We
We've
have
been talking
no-
about this on 6PR, and a lot of the people have said there is no opposition. We've got 6 or 7 people in opposition.
It's a dangerous state.
They might as well stay in their office. I actually made the point last night that it would be awesome if those 6 the Liberals and the Nationals that are left should just cross the floor and join the Labor Party, make it a whole clean sweep. Now, but remember something, people forget.
They could all
They
sing
haven't
Kumbaya.
got an opposition party, but who have they got that's the biggest opposition now to face?
The media.
The people.
The people,
The people.
yes.
But
And I
the
tell
media
you-
is
Yep.
the media. It is never
Yep,
now been more
exactly.
important
Yeah.
for the media to stand up, because the only opposition that the government, the only accountability is going to come from the media.
I
fair
really
enough.
do
Fair
believe
enough.
if the government, I think he's very humble, the Premier, I'll be honest with you, and I think he's quite a smart man. I don't think in the first 4 years he's going to try anything that's unpopular. I think he's going to finish off all the works that they've got.
Not him, it's about the people behind him who
Correct.
are going to push. There'd be a lot
But
of people
I worry that he's now
who'd be
commanded.
pushing.
Well, he's the most liberal Labor leader
correct.
we've ever
But
had.
he's
Oh, so,
commanded.
so I love that.
Well,
He's the
he
most
is.
liberal Labor. What does
I
that
actually
mean?
agree with
Well,
you.
it means
What
he's
that
not
means is he's
hardcore connected to the unions,
And he's also not
a
an extreme lefty.
lunatic.
Yeah, he's as liberal as you can get.
A lefty lunatic. That's,
He
that's
is
like
by Labor Party
right
standards to the
roughhead.
right of centre.
Well, let's be very honest. The Prime Minister loves him. The Prime Minister's a Liberal. He loves Mark McGowan. And you know what? If he wasn't a Labor Premier, I think he'd be on the next one to be Prime Minister in the Liberal Party, or Treasurer or Attorney General.
No. He is a Labor politician.
I agree.
He is a Labor
But
man.
You just
But
can't
is he-
stand that word.
he-
Liberal.
I
know. I know.
Can I-
Liberal Labor.
Can I just say to you guys, isn't it amazing how we get caught up in terms like Liberal Labor? He's a human being, he's an Australian, and he does a great job. And I think we need to remember that it doesn't matter what party people are from, they all come up with great ideas. I don't think he's going to be a danger, because I think if he does anything stupid like put up power
What about
prices,
his backbench?
I think they'll sit quietly for a couple of years, but he is very powerful. They know he commanded a lot of votes.
Yeah.
And why would you take him on?
84%.
What about some of those people who donated?
Yep.
Who might then start to put pressure? Well, there is.
But they know
there is
who
the
they're
What
other-
about the
for.
unions? The unions
Yes.
are the ones that...
about the unions? What
Jen-
about big
Jen and
business
Chris,
on the other side?
Can I just
Jen?
say to you, they all knew what they were voting for. They knew who they were getting. They knew what he was.
Yes,
He
yes.
hasn't changed.
No.
They knew exactly the arrogance that he's got in that role, that people
Yeah.
accuse him of being arrogant.
But you would be, wouldn't you?
I think so.
Well,
and when he came out and said...
everyone's arrogant in that
Yeah.
role.
Look, I wish him all the best. I hope.
matter what
I don't
leader
think in
they
this
are.
country we worry too much Liberal Labor. If it was a completely different party, we'd worry. But he's been stable for 4 years. He's going to be stable for the next 4 years.
Well,
They're already talking about defending
Well,
the
the
GST.
big thing is, of course, there has been no government, and Chris will back me if I'm wrong or right, and that is that there's been no government in Western Australia to go for 3 terms in a row.
Correct. Correct.
Is that right, Chris?
I think
that
he'll
is
be the
right,
first.
Since Charlie Court.
Since
Exactly.
Did Charlie Court get
I think Charlie Court...
So,
74.
Ted, can I ask?
Yeah.
Because we're running out of time for the,
80, yeah,
the
Charlie
segment.
got 3
Yeah.
terms.
Ted, do you
But
reckon he's going
retired
to
in his 3rd term.
Is he going to do all right?
Oh yeah, he'll do well.
Jen?
Yeah, I think he'll do all right.
And
I
Chris?
think he will.
Yeah, I think he'll do all right, because I think he's the kind of person who's quite stable. And I think that Jen's identified it, and without getting into
Yeah.
the politics of it, he's not an extreme left man, he's a more
No.
centrist man. And I think most
I agree
people
Well, he said
are
that
in the
himself.
centre.
He said, I'm a liberal labourist.
Well, do you know what? Liberalist or
You're
Labourist?
enjoying this, aren't you?
Ted, thank you very much.
Can I sit somewhere else next time?
Yeah, you can on the back bench. If you find a chair there, or in the dining room. They're talking about building a bigger parliament just so they can all sit together.
Well, that's all right. If I was in Parliament, they'd have to build a bigger Parliament.
They would. Chris Ilsley, what's your topic?
Well, it's about travel agents. Travel agents have been doing
doing
it
it
tough thanks to COVID-19. I believe there's a new package in the last few days it's been announced.
Yes.
I wonder if it's going to be enough. There's
This
talk.
is the $500 per
Yeah.
staff member of the overseas travel. So Qantas and Virgin have been given, as part of this travel package, they're going to be able to pay their overseas staff that aren't working
What, the
until
crew,
October.
the
The crew,
crew.
anyone that works overseas, $500 a week until about October.
This is more about travel agents.
The travel agents are going to have a problem.
No,
Bec-
they've got just announced a new package yesterday.
So what is that all about?
So they're going to be able to get a one-off grant with a lot less.
Isn't that a loan?
No, I think it's a grant, but I
Okay.
think it'll be the last of it, up to 100,000.
Is it going to be enough? There's talk that
No.
it's going to be at least 12 months before there's international travel.
Yeah,
Somebody
yeah.
was suggesting to me that Australians, or certainly Western Australians, might be able to go to Bali in June.
Taiwan, Singapore,
Yeah.
and
I don't
New
think
Zealand.
Bali.
Well, they're
I'm
looking at-
wondering about that
Well, no,
too.
it won't be Bali. They said Singapore, Taiwan, and New Zealand are definitely there. Maybe Fiji.
Yeah.
Obviously
Yeah,
not
maybe
Papua New Guinea
yeah,
anymore.
yeah, yeah.
No.
But look, I think any package is great to keep. The travel agents are different to everybody else. If you think about it, they can't become couriers. They can't sell food. They
No.
can't do coffees. They're stuck in that office, and basically they're not going to get many calls because most of us, if we be honest, none of us use travel agents to book domestic travel anymore.
No.
So it's
And here's
they
the big
rely on
question: Are
international.
travel agents, and were they arguably on the way out anyway?
I disagree.
Can I
You disagree?
What do you
Okay.
think, Jen?
Can I
And
just,
then Ted.
for the past 5 years, Jules has done all our travel
Correct.
arrangements.
That's what I do
We
as well.
haven't used likewise. We
it's-
haven't
it's
used
free.
an agent, but gee whiz, a lot of people travelling for the first time
Yep.
need them and things like that.
Do you
And I
know when it's
understand that.
important? I found when there's connecting flights, you
Yeah.
need to use a travel agent because if you do it yourself, you can never, you don't know all the connections.
Yeah, yeah,
All right,
yeah,
but
yeah.
for domestic like you, I booked
Oh
my
no,
trip to
internationally.
Bali.
No, Jules does all.
I do the whole lot for myself as
yeah,
well.
and
Jen,
you-
what was your?
Well, I was going to say, first and foremost, you should always check with a travel agent because often they will get you a better deal than you can get
Yeah, fair
yourself.
enough. Yeah,
and
yeah.
that is definitely worth it. But the people, now I had a lot of people contacted me once the pandemic hit and they lost money, whereas if they'd gone, booking themselves,
yeah.
whereas if they booked through an agent, the agent will fight and they
to
will
the
get your money back.
And can I just say, I actually got a phone call last night. Apparently, AirAsia have now decided they're not going to be paying back those credits that people have with them. So I would advise people go to your bank, do a chargeback with your credit card, tell the bank you didn't get the goods you paid for, and within about a month or so, you'll get your money back. Thank you to Ted Bull.
Thank you.
Good. And
As
by the way,
always.
I'd be really careful about flying AirAsia. Their safety record is somewhat
They
questionable.
technically have to get off the floor to actually fly, but I think you're right. You're right. There's a lot of do your research, folks. There's got some
Yes.
problems there. Jen, have a go news. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you very
being here
much.
today. Chris Ilsley, any news to tell us? About
No,
what's
and
happening?
trust me, if there was, I would be telling.
Good on you. Chris Ilsley, still looking for a lucrative job in radio or politics. He's available. Come through me. I'll be his agent. Thank you very much to
Sounds
all
wonderful.
three of you. Wonderful to have you here. We're going to take a break. More of The Couch coming up right after this. Stay tuned. Well done. Welcome back to The Couch. Thanks for your company. We're going to be talking streaming with Paul Elwyn. Welcome back, Paul. Now,
Greg.
can I just ask, you went to a screening this morning of Roger Rabbit, was it?
No, not Roger. Peter Rabbit.
Peter Rabbit,
But it's
sorry.
the sequel, Peter Rabbit
Pete-
2. I went with the wife and kids,
Yep.
and
Good?
straight afterwards, my daughters go, "Could you please thank Fred for his awesome?"
Yep.
And I said, "Yeah, that's great."
Did you
It was-
like the movie?
It was great. It's like I felt the same when I was watching like Paddington with the kids. It's
yep.
got like some funny jokes that the adults
The
might-
adults.
adults
They
like,
get you
but
in.
also-
They get you in as an adult, so you bring the kids.
It's pretty funny. Peter Rabbit, the voice is by James Corden. He's got his own late night talk show, and
That's
I normally
right.
find him a little bit irritating sometimes.
Right, only a little bit.
But he
yeah.
actually does really well in this. But Peter
Okay.
Rabbit, the character, is also kind of irritating, so it kind of suits. But all of it is really good. And
Oh, well
Australian
done.
Rose Byrne is in it. She plays the sort of the farmer who owns the place, the wife, and yeah, it's kind
And
of
that was
funny,
at
yeah.
Greater Union in Lou, was it? So thank you very
Yes,
much
yeah.
to
Event Cinemas.
Event Cinema,
Yeah.
Kathy Sharp, of course, from Sony Pictures. And
Yeah,
thank you
but-
for coming in today too, Paul. You've got 5 streaming
This is what I've been
shows.
checking out on streaming. So across all of our usual streaming people like Stan and Netflix. The first one we got is Clarice. Now, this is Clarice Starling. This is all about her. Now, this is taken from straight after the movie Silence of the Lambs, the events after
Come
that.
closer to the window, Clarice.
Yes, our
Was that
Chianti.
the line?
Yeah, all of that. It's interesting because the whole thing is, for all of you Hannibal fans who've been watching the Hannibal TV series, it might not be for you, but I personally think the character of Clarice Starling's kind of interesting, played by Jodie Foster originally in the movie. So this one, it's played by former Home and Away Australian actress Rebecca Breeds. She
Okay.
plays Clarice, and I was like, wait a sec, who is this? She's got the accent down pat, everything. So yeah, this series, it's more interesting if you want to follow what's going on with the character of Clarice Starling. Hannibal's not in this, and there's no reference to Hannibal, and that's due to rights being purchased by CBS
Yes.
versus NBC and all
Okay.
of that. But yeah, this is Clarice. It's on Stan, and that season 1's available now.
Check
to
it
check
out. Check it out.
Yes.
On Stan.
On Stan.
Now, the second one you've got there.
We got WandaVision. Now, I tried to watch this as it was doing it as weekly episodes, and I had
Yeah.
a bit of difficulty, so I watched it again as a whole season 1. For all you Marvel fans, it is taken straight after the Endgame movie when the character of Vision dies, and you're wondering what happened to them, and she has a sort of strange episode in this, and the weird thing is all of it is showing you them living in an idyllic sitcom life.
Is that like the Truman Show?
It's kind of like the Truman Show, but all of this, is this from her mind, or is she shifting reality to sort of try and reassure herself that everything's okay? This is how the Scarlet Witch character deals with post-traumatic stress syndrome. She kind of alters reality around her, and everyone's going, is this a dream? Is this a weird portal to another world, or what's going on? And for fans of Marvel comics, but also of the Twilight Zone or any surreal kind of series, this one is really cool to check out, and it's got a lot of kind of guest stars and a few hints, but yeah, it's kind of fun, and I found it more enjoyable to watch as a whole season as a binged watching.
Disney Plus.
Yeah, Disney Plus has this for you. Yeah, so
Fantastic.
WandaVision.
Now, Netflix has got something new as well. The
Yeah,
Lost
this one's
Pirate
starting
Kingdom.
to climb up in the top 10. Now, this is like the latest in swashbuckling news, I guess. This is the Lost Pirate Kingdom. This is presented kind of, like how the History Channel used to do ones like this is exactly what happened. It's actually kind of interesting. Pirates of the Caribbean, and the Johnny Depp movies, and you go, okay, is that really like that? Were they this crazy? This one is actually a bit of history, but then they actually have the actors, showing you what was happening. And I guess it's kind of a bit of Game of Thrones on the open seas. It's interesting because the main thing I liked about it was, I thought there were pirates that were just random rebellious guys traveling out, but they actually had sort of accords or a bit of politics between them, which was kind of interesting. And this shows you all of the characters like Blackbeard, all of these known pirates. They were actual people, and it shows you what
So
happened.
it's almost putting him into real life, but these aren't the original actors, obviously.
Not the original actors
But
from
they-
any of
are
that.
they
This
good?
is like a whole
Is it
history
good?
thing. Yeah, it's good. It's actually kind of fun because you're going, so they do take some things in history, and that's the fact part, but you get
Okay.
to enjoy watching people act, these situations.
And that one's
as well.
on Netflix as well.
Netflix, yeah. Lost Pirate Kingdom.
What's the new one to binge on?
The new one to binge on. On
binge.
Well, on binge, the main thing they're really advertising right now is this new one. It is Justice League, but this is the Zack Snyder cut. This is the huge thing currently for all of the comic fans. Back in 2017, Zack Snyder directed and they released Justice League, and it didn't bomb exactly. It kind of, a lot of mixed reviews and everything. So somehow HBO got hold of this and they did a huge deal. 100 million goes towards it. Essentially, roughly 5 minutes to 30 minutes of familiar scenes that were in the movie is in this. The rest This whole thing is 4.5 hours. You
Oh,
can
wow.
watch it in parts if you want to, but you can stream this and watch the entirety of this 4.5 hours
In one hit.
in one hit if you want to. It's an
Have you
epic
done
movie.
it?
This is Zack Snyder redirecting, using lost footage, using everything he
wow.
can to this. The only jarring thing I found was this is filmed in 4:3 because it was originally
Oh, okay.
done for Miramax, the IMAX
Which would have been
format, which is
4:3
the
back
huge
then.
screen
Yeah,
format. I watched this like 4.5 hours. The hardest thing to do is try not to remember the previous Justice League movie. Just do the Men in Black thing, wipe your memory, and just watch this as a fresh movie.
Yep.
And I loved it. It's pretty cool.
Something to look forward to
Yeah,
on,
so
on
Zack
Binge,
Snyder's
of course.
Justice League, yes,
And
on
there's one
Binge.
more that you're going to talk about
Last
on
one,
Netflix.
for all of you retro 80s fans, I finally did it. I started watching Cobra Kai. Karate Kid fans, you got your Daniel LaRusso's in this, Johnny Lawrence, the both characters, the rivals. What happened to them afterwards? Someone wrote a whole write-up and someone did a sort of YouTube synopsis of what they thought would have happened, and they decided to turn this into a series. Netflix has snapped this up. There is 3 whole seasons. There's going to be a 4th season later this year.
Yep.
It's amazing because it's like flipping roles. Who's the bad guy? Who's the good guy? Who actually did turn out to be like a more sort of moral, person? Who's the real, who's Johnny Lawrence? His character actually has a rising thing where he used to be like jobless and almost homeless, and he's started the Cobra Kai dojo again. It's really good because it's not just them; it's their kids in this as well, and the young actors in this are amazing. Like they play these characters so well. So if you're ever not sure of what to see after the Karate Kid and see what happened to them, this is great. Like,
So out
well
of
done.
your 5, which is your favourite?
At the moment, I'm really digging the Zack Snyder Justice League. I'll probably watch it again. Like it was
4.5 hours.
4.5. It's
Wow.
epic, but it's worth it. Yeah, I
Fantastic,
loved it.
Paul. That is what's streaming
Yes,
this week.
what's currently
We'll see you in
streaming.
a couple of weeks with movies.
Yes, indeed.
Thanks, Paul Elwin, for coming
Fred.
in. We're going to take a break. If you ever wanted to work in the media and you wanted to polish up your skills or know what skills you need to polish up on, Carmen Braywood's coming in. She's got a brand new business and she's doing some great work. So stay tuned. We're going to talk to her after the break. Welcome back to the couch. It's now a great pleasure for me to have my good friend Carmen Braidwood back on our couch seat, sitting on the set for us. Thank you, Carmen, for coming back to us.
It's so nice to be here.
Now,
Yeah.
you and I worked at 6PR. I know you've sort of moved on to other bigger and better things. You're still doing TV.
Yes.
You're still doing your training. But for those people who don't know, we're calling it Confidence on Camera, and you're a coach.
Yeah, that's right.
Why did you get into this, and how did you get into it?
Well, it really starts 10 years ago, Fred.
Yeah.
So a guy asked me if I could teach him to present to camera the same way I do on shows like Destination WA. And I thought to myself, why would a business owner, as he was, want to learn to present to camera? And as he explained to me, because he is a chiropractor, he wanted to be able to be with his patients even when they're not in his treatment room. Creating video content that they can teach them how to do a stretch that's going to help them avoid pain. I thought, but they won't want to come back and see you. And he said, no, if this helps them, they will want to come back and see me.
It's sort of like developing people skills.
That's right.
To be able to utilise them day to day in your business. Because if you can't talk to people,
Yeah.
then you sort of fail, don't you?
That's right. And what a lot of people struggle with is if they might be really great communicators in person, but then as soon as that camera shows up, they have a lot of trouble just being themselves and communicating the way they would with their clients.
Now, I know that you've worked in radio, TV. Give us a bit of an example of your experience. For those people who are watching us now saying, I wouldn't mind doing that
Yeah.
course. Tell us a little bit about Carmen and your background.
Well, I started working as a broadcaster 20 years ago this year. It's my 20th year. There's some of me on screen, yeah.
Wow,
So
you were so young.
it was when I started,
Yeah.
yeah. It probably was.
Yeah, right.
Fresh out of university, yeah. And I worked for the most part in radio, but there was always television along the way that was coming up. And for me, TV made me really nervous.
Yep.
And I had to learn how to conquer those nerves. And so a large part of what I do now as a media trainer in that traditional space
Yep.
is helping people feel good about themselves to get on camera. And now I do that for all businesses because all of us are media companies these days. We've all got to make content of some kind. So ordinary business people, solopreneurs, sole traders, you know, tradies.
Public speakers.
Yeah, well, public speakers very often haven't learned how to do the on-camera stuff. And during the pandemic, we've seen all of these conferences and things like that go virtual. So there's a whole new way to present that people need to learn.
So my point was to tell people you've got a lot of experience. I mean, looking at that footage we just saw, I didn't even know you'd been in that many TV shows. And you've done radio for many years as well. Way back, I remember you being in Mandurah when I first knew about Carmen on a little station down there.
I was on Coast FM.
Coast FM,
doing
that's the one.
afternoons on the weekends while I was still
Reading news
finishing my
too.
university degree. I read the news over on CFM on the Gold Coast. I worked all over regional Victoria for a network called the ACE Radio Network, who are still there, family owned. And I did the network breakfast show there, and then came back to Perth permanently 10 years ago now, where I met that bloke who asked me to teach him present to camera. Turns out he was my husband, and we're here to this very day. Yeah, so you know that's where that idea came from. I thought, wow, maybe businesses could learn from us media types. And it wasn't until my show at 96 FM here in Perth came to an end. Yeah, the breakfast show there, that was axed. So, and that happens in radio all the time. That I thought, maybe I can do something with this. But it was the pandemic that gave me an opportunity to really go for it, because suddenly, instead of me telling people that every company is a media company these days, every company realised they're a media company because they had to go online and had to make virtual content.
It's true what you say, because I worked at Centrelink Medicare for 27 years. I went away on holidays, came back and was made redundant. Didn't have any warning, and I thought I could have got depressed. I could have said I'm not doing anything. I turned around and said I'm going to do the couch full time, and believe it or not, it gave me a new start. A new door opens, as they always say, and you move on and you work so hard at making it work. I know you've done a lot of work. I've seen you on your Instagram and your website. What sort of people could benefit from coming to do one of your courses?
I'd say anybody who thinks about being on camera and worries about how they look, whether or not they're going to be liked by the audience. You know, these are the kinds of things that used to go through my head, so I've got that personal experience to be able to help talk people through that. But then, of course, anybody who maybe is already making some video content and maybe thinking, I'd love to really get the polish
how to do it better
of a professional into it. And then the other thing is people who are having trouble coming up with ideas. So as a radio broadcaster, I've spent 20 years, as you will know, coming up with ideas about things that we can talk about on our shows. And that gives me a bit of an edge in your business. It's kind of like hiring a person to come in on retainer and come up with all of these ideas that are going to help promote what you do in your social media. And, you know, getting your face on camera is the best way to elevate your social media and build trust online.
And I think having an industry professional or an experienced person like yourself, look, if you can't get it right, there's a problem there. And I think it would have been wonderful if you were around 20 or 30 years ago, because back then I think people came out of uni, they said, I've studied to be a journalist, I'm now a journalist. But I've always said you're not a journalist until you go out and you start presenting. And then some people, as you know, in radio, love being a journalist on radio but hate being on TV.
Yeah, true.
A lot of our people at 6PR have said to me, Fred, I don't want to do television. And someone like you can actually help them get out of that fear area. Tell me, the courses that you run, are they all face-to-face in a building? Are they online? Are they all different type of courses to cater for people?
Yeah, I started out doing face-to-face workshops, but they all had to be cancelled during the pandemic. And what came about as a result, I think, is so much better, virtual coaching. So I run programs that run over 12 weeks. They're generally a 1 hour meetup per week, either in a small group or one-on-one. And the best thing about that is, as you well know, television presenting and presenting to camera and being yourself on camera is a learnt skill. You have to rehearse it week in, week out. So it means you're getting that guaranteed time where we're catching up, we're working on your performances, and then you're going to come up with ideas for your content strategy that represent your business well, and then you're going to go and post that content after your shooting day. So
would you agree people grow as well? People grow as present. I mean, you have, I have, and we'd be lying if we said we didn't. I remember when I first started on TV, people said you look like a Cheshire cat. You know, you could. Do you get what I mean?
And it's inauthentic, you know, because, you know, we know you in real life and the person that you are is so warm and welcoming and friendly, but sometimes the camera can take all of that away.
And you're scared. You don't know, should I be someone? Should I copy someone?
Yeah. Oh, I spent the first 10 years of my career trying to be Christina Morrissey, my wonderful friend on Destination WA now, who I'd seen on TV, and I had an acting agent, who told me I needed to lower my voice. So I tried to sound just like Chrissy and talk way down here. So inauthenticism creeps into us because we see other people doing great things and we want to do what they do. It takes a really long time to get comfortable being yourself, and one of the most gratifying things for me as a confidence on camera coach is helping people.
And I
do
love.
that.
I watched a post a couple of weeks ago. I think it might have been less than that. All about. People, the image.
Yeah.
Sometimes people can be overweight, as I am, and yet they've got this. They're scared because they think they're going to be rejected, or people aren't going to like them, or that people are going to bully them.
Yeah.
And I always say, look, I've been doing this for 20 years. I've always been overweight, but it's not a part of who. It's not me, as in I'm not worried about it, and I've grown to not worry about it.
Yeah.
Can you help with people that think I'm not attractive enough for radio or TV? I don't have a personality. Can you bring it out?
The most important thing, yes, is to remember that sometimes people aren't going to like you, and that's actually okay, because you want to attract, particularly in business, a tribe of people who love you no matter what, and they already want to work with you. It's kind of this awesome filtering process where you only get leads from people who already love what you do. And so that's a really big part of the process. And the other big part of the process is getting used to watching yourself back on screen, and really getting comfortable with who you are. And I had so many hang-ups. I used to lie in bed awake at night thinking about a piece of national television I'd done on, like a Today Show cross or something like that. And, there was this wonderful opportunity, and my friends right around the country would contact me going, wow, I saw you on TV. All I could think about was how I looked and how I perceived myself looking
or if you
badly.
made mistakes.
Yeah, and I never worried about what I said. Like, what you're saying is the really important part.
That's one thing about radio. You stuff up all the time, and we used to worry about it.
Yeah.
And we'd have it in our, I stuffed that up. And people would always say, we never even noticed.
No.
And you learn from that. Carmen, I know that you would be wonderful at TAFE, you'd be wonderful at ECU, teaching a lot of the kids at WAPA about losing those nerves about being presenters and maybe giving them some skills to get them started. If people want to get in touch with you, how do we do it? What's the best way? I know you've got a website.
Yeah, I have a website. It's carmenbraidwood.com.au, which is sometimes hard to remember the spelling. So just
There it is on
find me. Oh, it's on screen. There you go. Or find me on any social media at On Camera with Carmen.
Anything coming up in the next few weeks?
I have a group program which is just launching now, so there's still time to get on board that one. I also have some rare in-person workshops here in Perth. If you are in the area, then get in touch and I'll let you know what to do.
Look, I look forward to a big career. I hope to see you back in radio too, if you've ever got any time left.
Yeah, I'll see.
But are you doing more TV as well? Are we expecting to see you on Destinations again?
Yeah, Destination WA starts shooting again in the next week or so, actually. So I'll be off flying somewhere awesome in WA to go and show the rest of the world what it's like. I get so much feedback on that show.
Well,
It's wonderful.
keep up the great work. I mean,
Yeah,
especially here in Perth, you can help so many of us. That and can I just say to people, don't be frightened. She's a wonderful lady. She's down to earth. She can help you. Give her a call if you're not sure. Send her an email. And if you're wanting just some training, public speaking, getting your confidence. Using a camera. How many of us use cameras now to sell products online? So that's the sort of stuff you can do, Carmen.
There to help, a modern take on media training. If
Thank you very
Ruth.
much.
Thank
Nice
you.
to have you here as well.
good
We'd
to
love
be
to
here.
have you back again. You're wonderful. We've got a lovely lady on centre stage as well called Kaylee Longdon. She's going to perform a wonderful song for us. Here she is.
He left no time to regret, kept his lips wet with his same old safe bet. Me in my head high, and my tears dry, get on without my guy. You went back to what you knew, so far removed from all that we went through, and I tread a troubled track. My odds are stacked. I'll go back to black. We only said goodbye with words. I died 100 times. You go back to her and I'll go back to us. I loved you much. It's not enough. You love below and I love puff. And life is like a pipe, and I'm a tiny penny rolling up these walls inside. We only said goodbye with words. I died 100 times. You go back to her and I'll go back to you. We only said goodbye with words. I died 100 times. You go back to her and I'll go back to We only said goodbye with words. I died 100 times. You go back to her and I'll go back to
Thank you very much to Kaylee Longden. Well done, Kaylee. And that was, of course, Back to Black by a great artist, Amy Winehouse. Time to have a bit of a laugh and do something a little bit questionable. Simone Springer is back and she's got a couple of her friends in. Welcome back, Simone.
Thank you so much, Fred, and welcome to Questionable on the Couch. Today we are talking about whether or not we need the Royals, and joining me today is Fringe World Weekly winner Grant Mushet and veteran and funny man Mick Gledhill.
Thanks for having us.
So what do you think, fellas, that the Royals have been back in the public eye? Do we actually need them?
Nah, I don't think so, eh? They've been in charge, well, Elizabeth has been in charge her whole life pretty much since she was about 15 years old, 16 years old. What's the point, man? Off with her head. Out with the old, in with the new, I reckon.
Yeah, you're going with some old school murder? Great. What about you, Mick?
Well, it was only created to create unity within the country, right? That was the only reason why, and to make ceramics.
And to make ceramics. Oh, my God. Yeah, personally, I couldn't imagine seeing money without, the Queen's head on it. But, so did you guys actually watch the interview with Oprah, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry?
No, I can't say I did. No, I didn't either. No.
Yeah, me neither. Looks like we have better things to do with our time. So what's the best thing about the royal family? What do you love?
Not a lot, to be honest with you. There's nothing special about it. It says a lot about a family when they'll outcast someone predominantly for causing a bit of drama and being of African-American descent. But, wholeheartedly stick up for an accused paedophile.
Oh, that's true. And the Kardashian family, they live for drama.
Yeah.
They should be, happy that they're actually in the news. What about yourself? What do you love about them?
Oh, I think the merchandise, because my mum's house is full of the merchandise. It's fully pimped up with it.
I just feel like, what would the magazines do if they didn't have that bi-yearly question over the paternity of Prince Harry? What are they going to talk about? Hello, magazine. No, what would you guys miss if they weren't around? Was there anything that you would miss about the royals?
Oh, don't know. It's funny. It's funny to watch. It's funny when they get married, and you get to identify who the most crazy people in your street are when they've got the flags out and all the ornaments.
Yeah, that's true.
It's good to know who the crazies are.
How many people are collecting those stamps? Do you have a favourite royal, Mick?
Oh, absolutely. The corgis.
Yeah.
They're my favourite.
And what about a least favourite? Is there one that you guys aren't a big fan of?
Oh, definitely Prince Andrew. I mean,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a total weapon.
That's the beast.
Yeah.
It's a questionable
He's very
time
seedy,
for the royals, that's for sure. And Fergie was, none too happy about that either. So what do you guys think? If you guys could be a royal, do you think that you would change your mind and decide that maybe we do need the royal family?
Nah. I'd probably still I'd give it away. I don't think we need the royal family. I think you could get rid of them, you could disband them. I mean, people are always talking about getting rid of the patriarchy these days. You could get rid of the monarchy, and I think you'd still have tourist income. You'd still make a lot of money. You don't need the people specifically. You could get rid of them. I think it probably brings up a lot of hard feelings for a lot of people in different countries. So yeah, I think you could easily get rid of them and still claim tourism money off all the things that they have owned.
You would definitely need that, because why does anyone go to the UK other than to just see, the castle?
Yeah, they're not going to Buckingham Palace and then thinking they're going to get a one-on-one with the Queen.
Yes, that is true, and unfortunate. What about you, Mick? What do you think?
Well, they do 3,000 engagements per year, so they're really just people pleasers, aren't they? And I'm not really into that.
Yeah, when you joined the military, you did have to do what's it called?
I did. I had to give an oath that I would dedicate my life to the Queen. And I was 17 years old, and I thought, who is this geezer, right? Like, I'd rather pledge my allegiance to Eddie Marbo, someone like that, right?
Who's Eddie Marbo?
Oh, come on, Grant. Oh, he's only new to Australia. It's okay.
Okay, that's
He's like the king of Australia, Eddie Marbo. Yeah. He was the first Aboriginal guy that was successful with land rights in Australia. Yeah, he's the king.
And how would you change? What would you do if you were a royal, Mick?
I'd definitely get rid of all the merchandise. Yeah, it's just too much. Yeah.
I myself would love a crown, the beer, not that. But so, what do you guys think? Finally, what do you think? Yes, do we need the royal family?
No, we don't need them.
It's pretty clear.
Yeah.
You no.
No.
Also a no.
Also a no.
So God save the Queen or don't. Apparently.
God save our gracious Queen. I cannot believe you guys on the couch today. The Queen has served us so well, Simone. And you know what?
Look, I'm an impartial party.
After that Meghan Markle fiasco, publicity stunt, which now everybody's attacking her for. Everything she said was virtually a lie, and she's running for cover. Prince Charles turns around and says, the reason I stopped answering your calls was I felt like an ATM. Every time you rang me, you were asking for money. Right? That came out. The thing about titles, it's now been confirmed. Little Archie was offered a title. He knocked it back. They both knocked it back. So it's quite sad because the public is very tough. And I think the public in Australia has spoken. The popularity of the royal family has gone up by 35% in Australia. More people love the royal family after that Meghan Markle fiasco. And I don't know. I think my money's still on the Queen. And I think better the devil you know.
How much longer has she got?
Oh, look, Charles is already the Queen in waiting or the King in waiting. And I think...
Can we please say the Queen in waiting?
I have to, because in these days you can be whatever you want to be and you're free to do that. But I think they've served us well in Australia. We've got an amazing political system which is fair, even better than the UK. And I think the fact that we've got those reserve powers keeps our politicians honest. I mean, we're one of the few countries that can fire a prime minister for getting carried away. A lot of countries are stuck with them. Look at Europe. Look at Italy. They don't even know who their prime minister is. Look at America, how hard it was to get rid of Trump.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't have that problem. The Queen would just say, it's Your Majesty here. And I never forget when she rang up the Labor Prime Minister in England.
Can you do that voice again?
Well,
do it in the voice,
She
please.
actually said, who was the Prime Minister in England, the Labor guy?
Gordon Brown.
No, the other one. There was another one, younger looking man.
Tony Blair.
Blair, that's right. And he went to her when Diana died and said, Your Majesty, you need to speak to the public and you need to say sorry about what's happened. And she turned around and says to him, Mr. Blair, let me remind you, you may be the Prime Minister, but I am the Queen. And I think that's what I always remember. We are so lucky to have a Queen, and we are so lucky to say to politicians, you answer to the Queen and do the right thing. And eventually, the right thing happens. But that's just my view. Don't mind to waste too much of your time. But
I love
yeah,
it.
look, love it or hate it, it doesn't look like Australians are going to get rid of it.
No. Well, we did have the choice a while ago.
Yeah, we had a referendum.
We stuck
And we
with
weren't
them.
allowed to pick our replacement. It was going to be appointed. And the Australian people said, if we have to get rid of the Queen, we want to elect our president. We don't want the politicians to appoint a president, and that a president wouldn't have any reserve powers. The Prime Minister can sack them. What's the point?
Yeah.
You need to keep someone above the Prime Minister.
God save the
After
Attorney
all.
General.
Yeah.
So, God save Simone. Simone, before we go, tell us about these fantastic shows that you're doing.
I have 2 shows as part of the Perth Comedy Festival. Mum's Gone Wild with the Motherhood, and that is at the Regal Theatre. And I also have Single with
I've got
John
that one.
Pinder.
There we go. We'll put that one up as well.
Also
There we go.
at the Regal Theatre, but in a smaller room, and you can get tickets from Ticketek or
Well done.
perthcomedyfestival.com.
Thank you very much for being on the show. Look forward to the next Questionable.
And thanks so much to Mick and Grant for joining us.
Well done. And we hope to talk the vaccine next. I reckon
yeah,
that's a
next-
talking one.
next time.
Thank you to Simone. Thank you to the guys, the comedians. Please support them. They do a great job. We'll take a break. Be back with more of The Couch right after this.
Connect with The Couch online through Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Welcome back. We're getting hot in the studio. Let me tell you, it is not air conditioning hot. We've got Abby in from Crowned PR with our very own hot presenter in red, Nisha Seth. And of course, you can't say anything more about me. I've got my own little drink here. It's called Devil's Tears. And the reason why we've got all this hot stuff is on the 27th and 28th of March, this weekend, is the Chili Festival. It's coming up. So we want you to hear all the facts with Nisha and Abby. And then Abby's going to scull this whole bottle. No, over to you, Nisha. I'll open the lid, getting it ready for you.
Thank you so much, Fred. And thank you for your lovely compliments. So we are getting very hot here, and the Spice is returning to Fremantle Esplanade for another year. How exciting!
We are so excited. It really is. We can't wait. We can't wait to get hot and spicy with everyone.
And we know when we hear chili, a lot of us go, whew, chili is hot. But there are different levels of chili, and you can experience this over the course of the weekend. So tell us a bit, to start off with, a bit about the Chili Festival and what's involved in the days when you get there.
Yeah, so it's on the 28th and 27th of March. So there's 2 sessions. We've got one from 10 till 3 and the other from 4 till 9. There's so much on. We've got over 70 chili stalls.
70?
Yes,
Oh, wow.
it is crazy. We've got some great WA brews and we've got some distilleries. We've got Brendan Pang from MasterChef down there creating some
Excellent.
dumplings, and Blake Proud from MKR. He's going to be giving us some really great chili knowledge. So yeah, it's going to be a great weekend.
So there's some experiential learning happening. We can actually sit, watch, have a beverage, and I guess it's right close to the train station too. So from a safety perspective, you can make a day of it. You can
Certainly
still have a
can.
few drinks and get home safely.
Well, there is some great cocktail masterclasses down there, so you definitely want the train station close by to get home.
So there's something for everyone, because I've been to a few beer festivals. I don't drink beer, but there's, you can have anything to drink and anything to eat. So you can have, you're not just eating chilies, you can actually have bits of
No,
food.
I mean, all our vendors have a Chili Fest special, which is really exciting, but they do have some nice non-chili food for everyone to cool down with when they need to.
Wonderful. So the morning session, again?
Yeah,
what
it's a
time is
10
that?
till 3.
10 till 3?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it should be a great time. There's a silent disco as well going on, and then there's also some really great local artists. So, come down and support everyone who's been staying at home, and they're all acoustic, and it'll be nice. Yeah.
So over the years, I guess from feedback, the Chili Festival, have you heard any specific bits of feedback to get our audience excited?
Well, I mean, everyone just loves the chili eating comps. Like,
Oh, please tell us about that. I think Fred and I might come down if there's a chili eating competition.
so there's two of them. So we've got the Devil's Tears, which is what Fred has got there. That one's the chili chomp competition. And we've also got the Dingo Sauce Widowmaker's Wing Challenge.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Tell me about that one. That one sounds scary.
So if anyone wants to add a Widowmaker to their resume, it's definitely the one for them. So you basically are eating as many chicken wings
Hey, Abby,
as you can.
question for you. Very important one. I know you're covering all the event details. Are there going to be a lot of, portable toilets there? Because you know what happens when people have chili.
There is. We've actually got some dedicated Instagram posts to the toilets because it's the one that everyone wants to know whether they can definitely make it to the loo afterwards.
I tell you what, you run a competition, see how much of this you can drink before you have to run for your life. It's really funny. There's I think a restaurant in North Perth that is a chili type restaurant, and you can actually have chili beer, and you can have chili cake and chili dessert. But I'm thinking to myself, why would you put chili in cake or beer? But yet it actually tastes quite nice. Now, will you be doing anything special, Abby, on those that weekend?
Will I be or?
Will you be doing? Will you be maybe?
Well, look, I'm hoping that I get to taste the dumplings that Brendan Pang's making because his dumplings are just amazing.
They are great, aren't they? Can we just say the two chefs? Of course, Brendan Pang is from MasterChef. He's an amazing, quite a comical person, a nice guy.
He is. He's fabulous.
And Blake Proud is a West Australian. He was from MKR.
MKR, yeah.
Now, I don't watch Channel 7 only because I don't like it. But I tell you what, if he was on MasterChef, I reckon he'd probably do a lot better. But also, I think the fact we've got these two great cooks here, take your opportunity, go down and meet them, get a signature or two, maybe buy one of their books, buy some of the chili. And maybe they should do a thing where we raise money by saying Abby needs to drink 2 of these bottles. Do you like chili yourself?
I am not a big chili eater, no. I mean, over the experience of creating this event, I've kind of got a little bit more into it. We've got some chili vodka in the office right now.
Chili vodka?
Yeah, chili vodka's lovely.
Yeah, we're hoping to crack that one open once this event finishes.
Oh, Nisha's thinking you left it in our office, but no, you're talking...
No, do you know, chili vodka goes really well in bolognese.
Really?
Oh, really?
It's gorgeous. So down south, there's a distillery. I don't know if I'm allowed to mention it.
Yeah, go
the
for
Grove. So they make a chili vodka, and they suggested to actually put into bolognese sauce.
Oh, yeah.
And amazing, just a little bit, not too much. And obviously the alcohol burns out, but it's another
Well
way
done.
to complement your dinner.
Do you know, we're very lucky here in WA, folks. Everything's pretty much open. You don't even have to distance, just pretend you are. And it seems to work everywhere else in WA. But I can tell you what, it's an opportunity where we need to say we're very lucky. A lot of the world is shut down. A lot of people can't even leave their houses. We can. The Chili Festival only happens once a year. 27th and 28th of March 2021. It's on the weekend. We'd love you to come down. There's a morning session, afternoon session, great special guests, great food, great drinks, great music, great theatre for the kids. There's lots happening there for your whole family. We would love you to go. There's the website there. All the details are on screen. You can buy your tickets. We'd love you to go and buy your tickets straight away to go to the event. But we're actually going to give away 2 double passes. This is how simple it is. Now, you're watching this, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube, you're watching it on a Monday or Tuesday, SMS us right now, 0439 929 929, and all you've got to do is put the code word, which is chili. How easy is that? Spell it any way you like. You can even put hot and then put your name and address on there, and we'll call the winner straight away and give you 2 double passes. 2 different people can have them, and we'd love you to go down. Is there anything I've forgotten, Abby and Nisha?
No.
Are you ready to drink this?
Go on, then. No, I'm kidding.
I will if you do. No. And look, thank you for coming in today, and thank you for filling in for Lucy Tian, who is obviously not doing well. I did see a post of her hair colour changing, so she mustn't be feeling that good, to be honest with you. When your hair changes colour, you got a problem. But we'll see her very soon. Crowned PR. Abby, you've done a sterling job. Will you be at the gate?
I will not be at the gate. I'm going to hang around that Channel 10 cooking stage. I am dying to eat these dumplings.
Well,
She wants to be the taste tester. I think
if you
she'll
need
get there.
anyone to hold the plate for you, I've been known not to push the plate away. So, look, do yourself a favour. I think go down to the Chili Festival, 27th and 28th. Where is it going to be?
At the Fremantle Esplanade. So yeah, come on down. There'll be tickets
And
at the
what's
gate.
the time again?
So there's 10 till 3 in the morning
Yep.
and 4 till 9 in the evening.
And how much are the tickets again?
The tickets are $20 online, or if you're getting them from the gate, they are $25.
$25. Support this great organisation. Support it. $20 for online, $25 at the gate. Well, if you're an idiot, you won't wait for the gate. You'll go online and get them now while you're watching this. Nisha, do you want to wrap it up?
Thank you so much, Abby. I'm so
I'll
excited
open
with
this
the
up for
Chili
you,
Fest,
Nisha.
and Fred's going to get ready and have some chili. But yeah, looking forward to seeing everyone down there with you.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Thank
and we'll
you.
see you on the couch very soon for your next event.
Thank you.
Okay, and back to you now, Fred.
Thank you very much. And don't forget, go to the website, the Chili Festival website as well, and get all the details there. Thank you for being on the show today. You've done a great job, Abby. Thank you to Nisha. And we'll see you right after this break, right here on the couch. Thanks for watching. Oh, always nice at the end of the show to have a bit of a bite to eat. And I love my new friends at Bites Pizza, spelt B-Y-T-E-S. His name is Mel Genovese. He comes from the old country, just like I do, except he was born in the new country. Nisha Seth is with him as well. I'm trying to do the whole Italian thing. And can I just add another plug in? Did anybody say, or did somebody, how do you go again?
Somebody say
Menu Log. There you go. Over to you, Nisha. You never know, Menu Log could have this very soon.
Thanks so much, Fred. What a performance to follow, Mel.
Yeah, I don't even know where to go with that.
Well, welcome to a fresh and local segment here on the couch.
Thank you.
And
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, pleasure. And as Fred mentioned, Bites Pizza Pockets is new
Yes,
to Perth.
yes, very new, very new. We're only 3 months old, I think.
And you're a very passionate gentleman. You're going to talk us through the pizza,
Oh,
but
I will.
let's just show everyone first,
Sure.
and then we'll tell the story. So you can
No
open your
worries.
box
All right.
first. This is a
This is a slab pizza that we do. So this one's got barbecue chicken, supreme, pepperoni, and an onion and garlic as well. So great for the family or even friends. You can get one slab and everyone can choose their own topping.
wonderful. So part of the gourmet offering is the big slab pizza. That's that. Get everyone around a table and be
It
able to
is.
share a meal.
It
But
is.
you've also got Bites Pizza Pockets. You've got the pizza pockets as
We
well.
do,
So
yes.
thank you for letting me do the reveal
No.
here, so we can have a look in this box and have a look. What have we got here?
So what we got there is a fried chicken with pickled cabbage and mayo and a sweet soy, and then we've got a Greek lamb with tzatziki and pickled cucumber.
Wonderful. So there's a cultural fusion here. We've got the
There is.
lamb and tzatziki.
There is,
Yeah.
yes. I've always loved my cooking, and I love cooking pretty much every cuisine that's out there. So the idea with the pizza pockets was to throw a little bit of fusion in there and just get a few different flavours.
Fantastic. And what's so different about your pizzas? Because there's a lot of pizza places out there.
There are.
But not pizza pockets.
No. I think we're the only ones so far. So.
So you're going to say they're made with love?
Oh, they are, without a doubt. Without a doubt, they are. It's pizza's been a passion of mine for years. It all probably started when I was young, cooking with my grandmother, and she used to cook the pizzas in the big trays, and it used to be that real thick dough. So it sort of started there, and then just developed cooking with mum and that.
Yeah.
So it's always been a family experience for me, and pizza for me. From a young age, I remember going to a pizza store just around the corner from where I grew up. Whole family would go down there, sit down, eat. It was one of those old school pizza bars with the arcade game and all that happening.
And is that where your branding came from?
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so we have the bites
It's
at the top.
exactly-
It's
it's exactly
very
why we went
action
with the word
orientated.
sort of bites and the pixelated theme.
Yeah.
Just for me, it just brings back all those memories, childhood memories. Yeah.
Beautiful. I see that Sam's excited.
Is your name Caramelo?
It is, yes.
Lovely name. Do you know what I love most about your pizza?
What's that?
The size.
The size?
Come on, let's
It is
be
great.
honest, Nisha.
It is great.
You and I could indulge. I wouldn't even be able to invite Nisha over because I'd want to eat it all myself. How do you get all the different patterns on there, all the different flavours?
Oh, we just segregate the pizza,
So can I
basically.
order something like that with
You
so
can, without a doubt.
How many toppings have you got?
Oh, we've got, I think, 16 different that we do.
Oh, too many. Can you imagine me
At
getting
the moment.
16 of these delivered?
You only have to pick 4.
But how good is that? Oh, that's right.
It's 4
Can I have 4
slabs.
pizzas.
Yeah.
Now, you cater for parties.
We do. We do
21st
parties.
parties, engagements,
Yeah.
work functions.
Work functions.
Maybe Nisha's hungry on a Friday night. Get a truck over. I absolutely love your stuff. Can I just say, I had no idea who you guys were. I ordered it thinking it's something new. It's around the corner from me, and I was in love with it. I loved it.
Well, there's a perfect testimonial, isn't it?
And I'm not getting paid,
Yes.
and I didn't get anything for free. Oh, you did give me that special apple strew.
Oh, did you like that?
The apple crumble
Apple
one.
crumble pizza.
Apple
We do a
sweets as
dessert
well.
pizza. We do 2
Yes.
dessert pizzas.
2.
Yeah.
Apple.
Yeah, we do an apple crumble
and the
with
chocolate
caramel,
Yep.
and we do a Nutella and banana.
And it's all low fat. He
caramel.
told me. Look, it never put on. I
Yeah.
never put on any weight.
Well, see, the secret is, like, see how airy that base
pastry.
is? So it's sort of like half the calories.
I love it
Because it's all air.
It is.
wow.
You know, the most important thing about pizza, folks, is
That
the
is
pastry.
true, isn't it?
Hey, Mello, your pastry, why is it so much different than, come on, let's be honest, Domino's and Pizza Hut, they've got, it's all right, $5 pizzas,
Yeah.
but the thing is that's what you're getting.
It is.
You're getting
Yeah, without a
a
doubt.
$2 worth pizza for
Without a
$5.
doubt.
And the pastry is very doughy, very oily.
Yes.
Whereas with you get the most beautiful dough,
Thank you.
and the ingredients are fresh and local.
Yes,
They are.
absolutely.
The pockets have never been done before. And you said you can get it delivered.
Yeah, we do. So we run our own delivery service
Yep.
at the moment. We will be jumping onto Menulog, I think, in the next day or 2.
Yep. Did somebody say Menulog? Now get on board, Menulog. I'm giving you enough of a plug. I absolutely love it. Hey, can you tell me roughly what does it cost for a big pizza like this?
So one of those is $34.
That's cheap.
It is.
That's a pretty good
very
price.
cheap. It's-
I'm gonna tilt
Considering a family's about $40
Sure.
these days, they want you to tilt it up. I was going to say tilt it back this way if you like. You've tilted it the wrong way. I absolutely love it. You know, the pockets are amazing too. You can only usually get them in restaurants, Italian restaurants, and these you can get them ordered at home, and also you do salads.
We do.
The
We've
Greek
got a range
salad,
of salads that we do. Yeah.
There's more than that.
Potato salad.
Just beautiful. And you know what else I love about your store over in Arundel Road in Balcatta?
Balcatta.
Can I just say you do the, is it avocado as well?
We do. Yes.
Avocado ice cream.
So we do proper espresso.
You can
and
tell
we do
I haven't
affogato.
been there. But, no, look, you do a wonderful job. And can I just say, delivery is a great option. I'm going to look forward to
gonna try
getting
some now, I
the
think.
amazing food. Let's give it a try. What's your website if people want to get a hold of you?
It is bitespizzapockets.com.au.
That's bitespizzapockets.com.au. You can enjoy this pizza. From next week, we're giving away
I'm gonna try one on the
$25
show.
vouchers on the couch, and we'll tell you how you can win those from next week. But please support them. The location is
Is 104 Arundel Road, Balcatta.
right next door to 7-Eleven.
We are.
Great pizza, great people, great local company. Please support them. He's not a multinational. He's not an American company. He's a Perth guy. His name's Caramelo. Please. And this is Nisha. She's enjoying it. That's it for the couch. Thank you, Melo. Melo, now I'm calling him. It's like Mel. I'm calling him like an Italian brother. That is it for the show. Thanks to all the crew. Thanks to all the guests. Please enjoy Bites Pizza. Listen in next week on how you can win it. Have a wonderful week. And from all of us here at the couch, because Nisha can't talk with her mouth full, we'll see you next week. Now, if she wasn't eating, I would be able to eat. But that's okay. I'll
Next
tell
time
Nisha
we'll
later. We'll see you next week. Have a great week, Australia. Bye for now. Good job.